So it's been about 25 years that I've been looking at this knife. And that might sound a little extreme. You know, why? Why do you wait 25 years before you pick up the knife? Well, it wasn't always something that I just had to have. You know, it was just something that I kind of noticed. And for the most part, it was just a novelty. Because I'm not a soldier, and I just couldn't even figure out what I would even do with it, besides just put it in the collection. So for 25 years, I kind of just considered it sometimes when I was, you know, out and I would run into it at different knife shops, or if I would see it online, I would go, yeah, it's pretty cool, but maybe I'll just get it later. But that later finally hit. And just recently I ordered one. It was a deal that was just too good to pass up. Amazon had them for $26.49. At that price, I just couldn't say no. And so I got the Ontario Spec Plus SP-1 combat knife, model number OKC 8679. It was previously known as the Marine Combat Knife, model number OKC 8300, and a number of those came with a sharpened swedge. But I do believe because of restrictions in different states that they don't allow a double-edged blade to be brought into the state. So I think what Ontario did, though, was to increase their market share by not making that sharpened swedged model anymore. I could be wrong on that, but I could not find the sharpened swedged model available anywhere online or any of the local shops in my area. So if you know anything about that or any additional information, let me know in the comment section. So this is the Ontario Spec Plus SP-1 combat knife. It has a 7-inch black epoxy powder-coated clip point blade. The blade is 1.25 inches wide and has a cutting edge of 6.37 inches. The 5.1-inch craton handle is 0.98 of an inch thick, and it has a lanyard hole. It also comes with a small piece of what appears to be cotton string. It's almost like a small section of a shoelace, and that you can make into an actual lanyard. The blade is made of 1095 carbon steel with a Rockwell hardness between 57 and 59. The knife is a plain edge with a full flat taper and swedge. But once again, the swedge is not sharpened on this particular model. But it is, from what it looks like, pretty easy to put an edge on there, especially if you have a file or a grinder. The knife is a full tang construction. The tang thickness is 0.188 of an inch. The overall length of the knife is 12.1 inches. It comes with a MOLLE-compatible nylon sheath, but unfortunately, it's made in China. The knife itself is made in the USA. The sheath, in my opinion, is adequate. It's not a junk sheath, but I've seen much better in my years. And I would prefer if the sheath was made in the USA and if it was a little bit higher quality. The purpose of this knife, obviously, is a combat knife, which in my mind has two main purposes: to fight with and to use as a general utility tool. And I think of utility uses such as making camp, helping to dig a foxhole or a trench, things like that. And this knife would probably be just fine for that. I have tried to cut various media with this. It cuts paper with no problem. It cuts cardboard, no problem. It cuts parachute cord, no problem. Thicker manila rope, it does cut through. It takes a little more effort. In terms of feather sticks, it does do it, but it's really not built to do it. And it had a little bit of a difficulty doing it. but you can press this knife into different rolls if you really had to. But it really is not a bushcraft knife, and in my opinion, it is certainly not meant to be used as a survival knife. But if you had to use it in those situations, you could definitely get some use out of it. The handles really are grippy. When they talk about the Kraton handles, it's like a really nice dense rubber. And this is going to be very excellent for situations when your hands are wet. It could be from like water or oil or blood, whatever it is. You do get some amazing grip, much more grip than pretty much most knives out there that I've handled. The product is currently in use with various, I don't know if you want to call it units or however you want to, designate this, but it's basically in use with the U.S. military. And I think it's mostly with the Army and the Marines, but I don't know what particular units within those branches of the military. But it is common knowledge that the U.S. military does purchase these. They have a contract. The product is affordable. 25 years ago, I remember these were selling for, on average, about $40 each. And now you can find them on Amazon, typically ranging between $32 and $38. At the time of filming, it was around $38. But I bought mine. It was on a deep sale. It's the lowest price that I've ever seen it a few weeks ago. And I actually did a deal alert video on this. A few of you guys I heard that actually did pick one of these up, so congratulations. But I got it for $26.49. At that price, it is a steal. In fact, if you can get it under $30, it is a real bargain. And it's a very, very safe bet that you're going to feel like it's going to be a fair deal if you get it between $30 and $40. So don't be afraid to pick one up, even if it's not on the deepest sale prices ever. The knife weighs in around 9.9 ounces, and I think it's a really good weight. It's not like really lightweight or nothing like that, but it's not like hard to carry, or it's not a burden to carry. I did put it on my belt for a few hours and walked in the woods, and it really wasn't a big deal, So I kind of thought the knife would be actually heavier, but it really isn't. Now, the knife in the sheath is 13.2 ounces. So you definitely, gain a little bit there, but it's only like 3.3 ounces more when you have it in the sheath. So not really a big deal there either. There is like a pommel area, but it's rubber overmolded. So you're not going to probably want to use it as a hammer or to strike things because you may damage the handle. So do you own this knife? And if so, what do you use it for? Because I'm thinking for me, it's just going to probably just go into my collection. I'm not going to probably use it much in the woods. To me, this is just kind of something that I've been looking at for a long period of time. And now that I have it, it's just something that I like to kind of maybe pull out every once in a while and just look at. But I mean, if you use the knife, let me know what you use it on, because to me, it's definitely a lot more of a fighting knife than anything else. So there is a link to this product in the comment section if you want to just check it out and see if this is something you want to get or not, or just get some different viewpoints and read the comment section on the Amazon page. Feel free to use the link here. I really do appreciate that. If you purchase the knife using this link, it does help the channel. So I get just a really small commission, and it really helps me a lot. But I'm doing this whole overview just because I really enjoy doing these types of videos, for one, but I really like this knife. And this is definitely not a small knife, but it's not like you're carrying a machete either. So check this out. The knife, in terms of quality, when I've looked it over, when I first got it, I'd say definitely it's a very solid 4 out of 5 stars. The fit and finish is definitely a 4 out of 5. There was a few, variables here and there that I didn't really care for, but overall, it really is just fine. It's very functional, and I have to say, for the price that I got it, it is a real bargain. And so just remember, it uses 1095 carbon steel. And that's one of the reasons why they put a black epoxy powder coating on it, because they don't want it to just rust. If you get caught out in the rain, and you may be a couple days away from getting back to your location. And so if you don't have the opportunity to put oil on it and you didn't have a coating, it will rust. Probably within just a few hours, it would start rusting. So that's why they put the coating on there, to kind of help it to become a little bit more resistant to rust. That was another thing besides the large size and profile. It was the steel choice that kind of have kept me away for all these years. But you know what? It's fine. I have some other carbon steel blades that are like made of 1095. And if you take good care of them, every couple of weeks, just put a little bit of oil and wipe them down, they're just fine. So you're not going to really have a problem. So, hey, thanks for checking this video out. Hope you found that the Ontario Spec Plus SP-1 combat knife overview was helpful. And I will catch you later.